If you're looking to buy a home in Halifax and you don't know where to start when you're hiring a realtor, then this video is for you. So there's over 1,500 realtors in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and the question is, how do you find the right fit for you? Now, there's a lot of different personalities in this industry. There's a lot of different ways of doing this business, and there's a lot of different consumer styles as well. So really, these 10 questions I'm going to give you today are going to help you find the best fit for you. And I might not be the right fit for everybody out there, and same with every other realtor, but the point is there is a right fit for every buyer out there. And today, these 10 questions are going to help you choose the right realtor for you. Now, before I get into it, if you like this video and you want to see more, please click the like and subscribe to my channel. I post videos every week on YouTube about the Halifax real estate market and buyer and seller tips. Also, if you want to book a call or a meeting with me anytime, you can do so below in the Calendly link in my description at a time when it's convenient for you. So getting right into it, question number one is, how long have you been a realtor? Now, experience matters, and I think right now it's really difficult to buy a home in Halifax. The market is changing, and you want to make sure you have somebody on your side that's representing you and your best interests and that can take care of you throughout this transaction. Now, I'm not saying don't hire a new realtor. There are a ton of great new agents out there, and every experienced realtor was at one point given an opportunity from a new buyer or seller to help them get their career started and get them some experience under their belt. So if you're hiring a new realtor, there's just some other questions I would suggest asking them, and really you should ask them, is there somebody in their office mentoring them, or what's their relationship like with their broker, and what's the team like on the back end supporting them? But again, there are a lot of great agents out there, and there's a lot of experienced agents out there that aren't great for you either. So it's really not a catch-all question here, but it's just something that you want to know, is how experienced is this person that you're going to be working with. Question number two, do you sell homes in the areas that I'm looking in? So for example, if you're looking for a home on the Halifax Peninsula and most of the homes here are going to be 80, 90, 100 or more years old, you probably don't want a realtor that has no experience selling older properties. On the flip side of that, let's say you're looking for a home in Fall River and all these houses are going to be on well and septic. You probably don't want an agent that has no experience working with homes on well and septic. Now, I'm not saying the realtor has to live right in the area that you're looking for a home in. They just have to have experience in the area so they know what to look for in the particular style of homes, the age of homes, and the type of homes that you're going to be looking at. Moving on to question number three, when can we view homes together? So this is an important one, and I think this isn't discussed enough up front, and this is something I ask every new buyer client when I sit down with them for their initial buyer consult. In the market that we're in right now in Halifax, even though it is slowing down, oftentimes you need to get into homes in the first 3 to 7 days that it's listed because things are still moving pretty quickly. Now, if you have an agent whose schedule totally clashes with your own, that might not be the right fit for you. So for example, if maybe you have a realtor who also has a daytime job during the day, and you're a buyer who works nights and you can only look at houses during the day, well, that's probably not going to work out very well for you in terms of scheduling, or vice versa. If you can only look at homes between 5 and 8 p.m. Monday to Friday because of your work hours as a buyer, and your realtor has a volunteer commitment from 5 to 7 Monday to Friday, well, that's probably not going to be the right fit for you. So again, this isn't a catch-all question, but it's something that you need to know, that you're working with somebody whose schedule will align with yours so that you can get into homes quickly when need be. So moving on to question number four, how many active buyers do you work with at a time? Now, this is kind of a funny one because if they're a great agent, they should have a lot of clients all at the same time. But the question is, do they have time for you? And if they have a lot of clients, maybe they don't quite have the amount of time to take on new clients. So again, this isn't a catch-all question, but the point is, do you have time to fit me as a buyer into your schedule if I want to look at properties multiple times a week? And that's really the big point that we're trying to get across here. Moving on to question number five, are you a full-time realtor? Now, again, this isn't a catch-all question here, but you want to know who you're working with. So if they have a daytime job or if they have an evening job as a part-time job on the side, other than selling real estate, this might affect the scheduling of getting you into homes. So again, it's not the end of the world if they have another job. I had another job for years and still sold over 40 homes in my last year of having that job. The point is, I put the time in like a full-time agent would, even though I still had a part-time job on the side. And there's a lot of great realtors that do that. So you just want to know who you're working with, and you want to get to know them and build that relationship and make sure that the scheduling will work out in your favor, especially as a buyer client in this kind of market here in Halifax. Moving on to question number six, do you have a team of professionals that can help me with the due diligence process? So in this case, I'm talking about mortgage brokers, lawyers, home inspectors, insurance people, and so on. So all these kinds of industries you're going to need to meet conditions to get your sale firm once you have an accepted offer. So this is important for two reasons. So one, if they're a great agent, they should have a team of professionals that you can help use to get you through the due diligence process. And number two, in my experience, the smoothest deals that I do are when the buyers trust me fully and they use my team of professionals as well. So they use a mortgage broker that I recommend, they use my preferred lawyers, they use my preferred inspectors. And I find because of the relationship I have with these professionals, they put you to the top of the list and they do a great job for you, and it will make your timelines quicker to meet the conditions as well, which in this market, if you have shorter conditions, it might be the difference of you getting a home or not getting an accepted offer. So I really think this is an important one, and it's something you should be asking your realtor before you hire them. So moving on to question number 7, how many homes do you sell in a year? Now again, this is not one that's a catch-all, it's not a deal breaker. There are some great agents out there that might only sell 10 or 12 or 15 homes a year, and then there's some agents out there that might sell 80 homes a year that don't necessarily do a great job for their buyer clients. So it's not a catch-all, but it's something you want to know. So the industry average, according to the National Association of Realtors, is about 6 homes per year. So I will say this, it's not necessarily the amount of years you've been in the business, but it's about the number of transactions that you've done. So experience really depends on the person, it depends on the amount of sales, depends on the amount of years they've been in the business, but I will say this, there are, just like every other industry, some fantastic realtors out there, some terrible ones out there, and everything in between. So these questions are just helping you qualify this agent to make sure that you're hiring somebody that's the right fit for you. So question number 8, will I be working with you directly or somebody else on your team? So obviously if you're hiring a solo agent, you don't really need to ask them this, but if you're hiring somebody that works on a team, you want to know, am I going to work with you or somebody on your team? And there's no right or wrong answer to this question, but it comes down to your comfort level. As a consumer, if you want to have one point of contact, no matter what, and you only want to work with one agent, then somebody on a team might be the right fit for you. But if it's somebody who works with a team that bounces clients around back and forth, depending on the schedule, it might not be the right fit for you. So you want to know, am I working with you or somebody on your team? And by the way, a couple weeks ago, I made a video you can see up top here that talks about the pros and cons of working with a solo agent versus working with somebody on a team. Moving on to question number 9, we're almost at the end here. Do you work with more buyers or do you work with more sellers? So a lot of agents work with both sellers and buyers, and a lot of agents might be around 50-50 with this. I'm about 2/3 listings and 1/3 buyers at this point in my career, and I actually refer a lot of buyers to other agents on my team, but it really depends on where they're looking, what their budget is, are they looking near where I live, and what's my workload at the time with my buyers and my listings, and do I have time to represent them properly? And if I feel like I don't, then I'll probably refer them to somebody else on my team. So it really depends, but you want to ask them, do you work with more buyers or more sellers? Because if you're looking to buy a home, you definitely want somebody that is experienced on the buyer side of things, not just the listing side of things. And last but certainly not least, question number 10, can you explain the home buying process to me? The reason I feel this is important is, one, as a buyer and a consumer, you want to know how the process of buying a home works before you get started. But also, this is a great question to ask because a great agent should be able to, concisely and very well explain the buying process to you. So if they're good and they've done it numerous times, it should be easy for them to explain this, and it should be very clear to you how the process works after asking this question. So there you have it. There's 10 questions that I would recommend asking a realtor before you hire them here to help you find a home in Halifax. And to be honest, I would recommend you talk to multiple agents to make sure that you get the best fit for you. And by doing so, you're going to qualify this agent and you're going to know they're the right fit, and it's going to make the process so much more enjoyable and so much more smoother for you during your buying journey. I honestly feel that a lot of consumers just go with somebody they know, or maybe somebody like a friend of a friend, and they don't really ask any questions at all, and they really have no idea if they're the right fit for them. And it's something that if this was asked more frequently up front, there would be a lot less issues throughout the process between the realtor and the buyer, and your process will be a lot smoother and a lot more enjoyable. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your support, and I hope this video helps you hire a great buyer's agent for when you're looking to buy a home here in Halifax. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to drop them in the comments below, or you can book a meeting with me anytime in my Calendly link in the description at a time when it's convenient for you. Thanks for watching, thank you for your support, and have a great day.